Hey guys, welcome back to BeyondMilestones podcast. It's your host Daniela Owusu, and I'm so glad that you guys decided to join me for another episode of the podcast today. I hope you guys are having an amazing day so far. I'm having a pretty lit day, and I'm really excited because I came across this really cool thing called the 100-hour rule, and I've wanted to talk about it on the podcast for a while, and today's the day. It is such a cool productivity hack, and I'm excited to share it with you. And I also wanted to talk about just a couple of other productivity tips that I found in the past that have really helped me get things done when I don't want to get things done, which is a lot of the time. But anyhow, so before we get into the episode though, if you would love to join the podcast community, you should definitely follow the podcast on Instagram and TikTok. I post a ton on there, just journal prompts, different motivational quotes, little reminders for the new week. I have a lot of fun posting them, and so I'd love for you to join the podcast community. But yeah, anyhow, so let's get into the 100-hour rule. So I feel like with life, I'm a very black and white person. I like things to be this or that. I like things to be kind of formula based, like you have the formula, you know that you want this. If I use this formula, I put these numbers here, I'm gonna get this number without fail. It's always gonna be that. That is my type of thing. That is my jam. I love that. However, over the years, I found that with growth, there is a lot of gray. There's a huge gray area, which allows us to mess up and actually grow. And that's just really annoying to me because I'm like, I wish that if I just did this over and over again, it would equal this. However, even if you do things over and over again, not every single time is it going to be perfect. Every single time we get to learn and grow from something that we did. And so the 100-hour rule is kind of just this method for consistency. It's something to kind of inspire us to be consistent, because I think that the more consistent we are with something, the better, obviously, we're going to get at it. I feel like with consistency, it's low-key like a silent flex. Like when someone is super consistent with something and you notice that's like, whoa, they've done this for 3 years, never stopped. Because the thing about consistency is that it takes a huge amount of mental discipline to get up every day and do the same thing, whether it's go to work or go to the gym or do a run, whatever it is, showing up every day and doing that thing. And it could even be something small, like drinking a certain amount of water that you said you wanted to drink every day, or going to bed at the same time that you said that you wanted to go to bed at. All these things are things that consistency builds. And so the more consistent you are at it, the more it's just going to become like a boom, like this is what I do in my life type thing. And I feel like a lot of us could be more consistent. When I was thinking about this episode, I was trying to think of what I am consistent at, and I could only come up with a couple things. And so I was like, I am so happy that I did not come up with that much, because there's so many things that you can look at your life and be like, hey, I could be more consistent in that area, and that gives you something to work on. And for me right now, it's summer and I don't have that much going on. So I'm like, yes, this is the perfect time for me to get consistent in something, so that when I get back to school or in a different season of my life, that part of me is consistent. Everything's working great. To be honest, I feel like the most consistent thing I have been with in my life is this podcast, which is kind of funny. But I feel like when we first started the podcast, is me and Taj, and I would just get super overwhelmed in the moment, and I would stumble over my words. And now I feel like I'm more at ease when I record, and it's just a little bit easier, and it's more fun, and it's less stressful, because I'm like, hey, I've been doing this for a while. I kind of know what to do and what to expect. And so the more that I've done it, the more consistent that I've been with it, the more that I know what to expect, the easier it becomes for me. And I feel like that can really apply to so many different things in life. If you do the same workout every single day for a year, day 1, it's gonna be super hard. Day 365, it's gonna be easy. It's gonna be light work. You're gonna be like, oh, okay, this moves next. This is what I do. It's not gonna feel as hard as it was. But I think a lot of us just stop when it gets kind of hard, and it's maybe day 150 and we're like, okay, I don't want to do this anymore. Or we just because I feel like whenever I tell myself I'm going to do something, I want to do it, and I don't end up being consistent with it, it's because I just forgot one day, and then I forgot the next day, and then I just completely forgot about it in general. And then maybe a couple days later I'll be like, oh, I remember when I did this. But then in my head, with the whole black and white thing, I'm like, okay, well, all or nothing. it's done. I'm not going back to it. But I feel like imperfect consistency is when you realize, hey, I forgot that I was doing this, and you just jump right back on. And then you're consistent again. And then when you forget again, you can get back up and be like, hey, I'm still doing this. Get back on track and keep going. It doesn't have to be this long-winded thing where it's like, if you forget, you have to restart like 75 hard or something. Like, this is your life. It's a lifestyle, you know? So you can keep going and you can just keep picking up where you left off. Sometimes I don't post every week and I'm like, hey, like, it's not that I forgot. It's just like I couldn't do it or something, or I didn't make enough time to record. And so I'll be like, okay, no worries, next week. Or I try to post at 7 a.m. But if I don't make the 7 a.m. mark, I'm like, okay, no worries. There's always 7 p.m. And keep working like that, you know? Just be imperfectly consistent. I feel like so much comes from being imperfectly consistent. And I think that a lot of the times we lose sight of that. We're like, if I didn't reach this goal, then that's it. But that's not true. Like, if you didn't reach that goal, like, there's different ways that you can reach that goal. Okay, so let's get into the 100-hour rule. So it first started as something called the 10,000-hour rule. And it was in a book called The Outliers by this guy. And he wrote this book and he was like, if you could dedicate 10,000 hours to something, you will become a master at it. So over time, people have kind of like decreased that number to a more attainable number, like 100 hours. And so people can apply it to so many different aspects of their life, like no matter what season that they're in. So instead of reaching mastery at that goal, you'll basically have like 95% proficiency at it, which I feel like is still pretty good. So like, yeah. I think it's important to note that there are limitations to this. Like, obviously, not everyone has that much time and different things work for different people. But I think that the main thing to remember is that if you are consistent at anything, like I was talking about at the beginning of this episode, if you are consistent at anything, you will get better at it. I think that when we're navigating the in-betweens of life and different seasons of life, instead of like stopping everything and only focusing on this one thing, the 100-hour rule allows us to be able to live our lives but still get better at something. So the 10,000-hour rule basically had people doing things for 4 to 5 hours every single day. And that's insane. Okay, like not a lot of people can dedicate like 5 hours a day to something unless it's like their job, like a pianist dedicating 5 hours a day to piano. Yes, of course, like by the end of the year, you'll be mastery at it. But as a college student and someone that's working and doing all this stuff, I know that I can't dedicate 5 hours a day to being a better conversationalist or being better at makeup. Like 5 hours a day working on makeup isn't actually crazy work. But however, I want to show you the breakdown for the 100 hours a year because it's truly amazing how you can just spend 18 minutes a day at something over an entire year, every single day though, 18 minutes, every single day, Monday through Sunday, Sunday through Saturday, 18 minutes a day. And by the end of the year, you will become 95% proficient in it. If you spend 18 minutes a day working on becoming a better conversationalist, 18 minutes a day reading, 18 minutes a day working on your teeth, 18 minutes a day learning about gardening, 18 minutes a day learning a language, every single day, 365 days, you will reach 95% proficiency by the end of the year. And if you do that for 5 years, that's 500 hours of work towards that one thing. And I think that's insane how it's just so simple as 18 minutes a day. You dedicate 18 minutes a day towards something that's going to better your future. Like 18 minutes is nothing. Make it 20 if you want, man. 20 minutes a day working on something that would just make you into a better human. It is crazy work. I think that you could literally pick anything. You could pick something that's gonna better your future. You could pick something that's gonna help you in your future job. Maybe it's like basic math skills. Like you want to work on basic math skills every day for 20 minutes a day and you can do all these crazy calculations in your head by the end of the year. Like, do it. I say go for it. The sky's the limit with this thing, okay? It's just so crazy how it works. Personally, I think that it could be easier. Easier is crazy. But I think that it could be more beneficial to do something with this that's like a fine motor skill is not the word, but a smaller skill, not like something huge, like running a marathon or something, but doing something smaller like strengthening your legs, to keep running, or something smaller like learning better makeup skills, something like that. There's so many different things that you could use, but just smaller skills and things that are going to enhance those bigger, broader goals that you have for your life. I also feel like it could be so beneficial for like a skill that you're already working on or a skill that you already have. Like, let's say you love playing piano and you just want to get better. Dedicating 18 minutes a day towards piano, you're definitely gonna get so much better by the end of the year, so something like that. I feel like that's a better example, but dedicating those 18 minutes to something that you already have a skill in, I feel like could just be even better. Like, for example, yoga. If you really love yoga, you already kind of have like the basic knowledge of yoga. Dedicating 18 minutes a day to learning like a headstand or something, you're literally gonna be rocking it by the end of the year, Another productivity tip that I think is amazing is something called habit stacking. So when I talked in the other episode with the journaling episode, I had a couple people ask me, how do I literally journal morning and night? Because I think it is a lot. And like, I don't know, I know it's crazy and it's a bit much, and most people just journal morning or night. I just loved journaling morning and night, and I kind of made it a non-negotiable for myself. I was like, this is what I want to do. Obviously, like, there are days that I miss, but it's like, this is what I know works best for me. And so the way that I kind of started to develop that habit was by using habit stacking. So if you don't know what that is, habit stacking can be so helpful for anything in life, but it's basically using a habit that you already have, let's say brushing your teeth, putting that new thing that you want to add into your daily routine. Let's say you want to start jade rolling your face, and you're like, okay, so your jade roller goes next to the toothbrush. Okay, after I brush my teeth, which I do every single morning and night, I'm gonna jade roll every morning and night. So it's get up, go to the bathroom, brush my teeth, jade roller is right there, jade roll my face, done. That's habit stacking. So you just add all these new habits that you want to add to something that you already do. So for me, for journaling, I was like, okay, I go to bed every night, and before I go to bed, I always pray. So I was like, how about I get in bed, journal, pray, go to sleep. So I know that I always do it before I pray and go to sleep. Those pray and go to sleep were already in my routine, and I just added journaling to that. And so same thing when I wake up, I always wake up, pray, and get my day started. So I was like, okay, how about I wake up, pray, journal, get my day started. So I think that's kind of how I added it into my life. People just do lots of things with it, but I think that it's one of the most powerful ways to kind of develop a new habit is by adding it to something that you already have. Placing it next to that other habit that you already have kind of forces you to kind of do it. So putting that book right next to the coffee maker, so like, hey, before I get my coffee, I have to read these 10 pages. Read the 10 pages, you get your coffee. Kind of like that. It's just a great way to add it in. Obviously, like, you don't force yourself to do these things, but if you're looking to develop a new habit like journaling or something like that, and you're like, oh, like, I don't want to forget, just add it into your routine, kind of like a morning or night routine, and then habit stack it out, Like, we love habit stacking. So highly recommend trying it if there's something that you really want to implement. So I feel like habit stacking really could work hand in hand with the 100-hour rule. Let's say you want to start kind of diving into self-growth, self-development. You're going to read 20 minutes a day of a self-development book every day. So you get up, you brush your teeth, you're like, okay, that book is next to that coffee machine. You're reading 20 minutes, and then you're getting your coffee, and then you're starting your day. Habit stacking, 18-minute, 100-hour rule, done and done, hand in hand. I think the key for the habit stacking is to make your new habit feel like you're not actually doing it. It's supposed to be effortless. Like, it's just like a part of your life, just it's part of your lifestyle. It's not something new and flashing, like something that you have to kind of freak out over, and then it kind of loses its like shine after a little bit. Like, no, it's like a part of your life. It's what you're doing. It's just there. Okay, 2 more things that I love is 1, the 2-minute rule. So if something takes less than 2 minutes, you just do it. So something that I did in high school was I was someone that made my bed every single day. As I've gotten older, I literally have stopped, and I feel like I need to get back on it because it was just so productive. It made my room look cleaner. It was just amazing. But literally, if it takes less than 2 minutes, do it. So every single morning when I got up, I made my bed, I journaled, I prayed, I showered. Boom, done. All those things literally takes less than 2 minutes. Something that I did at night whenever I came home when I back in high school was my room would always get such a mess like throughout the day and stuff after I did stuff. So I literally would set a timer for 2 minutes. I would clean my room as best as I could, make sure everything has a home, and then go to bed. I know some people like to call it the closing shift. They do like more than 2 minutes, but literally a closing shift for your room, for your house, for your apartment, whatever. Sometimes it only takes 2 minutes to just put things back where they go and get everything ready to go to bed. Sometimes it just takes 5 minutes. If you set a 5-minute timer, you can get a lot done. Just saying. I love setting a good timer. The other productivity tip, and the last one for this episode, is time blocking. So I know that people love their to-do list, and I love a good to-do list. I love the tasks tab on Google Calendar, but I think that something awesome about Google Calendar is that you can time block your day. And so something I would do during the semester, if I knew I needed to get things done, but I was just like putting them on a list and I wasn't really doing them, I would make my list, my to-do list, my task list Sunday night. And then I would schedule those to-dos in my calendar. So if I knew that I had work at this time, then I had a class, but I knew I needed to fill out this form. I knew that after my class, I had an hour and 20 minutes where I was doing nothing. So I put fill out forms in that section of the calendar. So it's getting done, but it's in my list. It's time blocked out. That time is dedicated for that thing. Another thing that I did during this past semester, was I wanted to start walking more. So I blocked out time during my week to get in certain walks. Time blocking gets things done. It's a great one. But yeah, so those are kind of like some of my favorite productivity tips. I hope that the 100-hour rule inspired you, because it truly changed my perspective about time. And just like, I feel like sometimes I'm like, I don't have time to do this, but I feel like we all do have so much time. 18 minutes is truly, in my head, nothing. Do your 20 minutes, you're done, and do it every single day for a whole year, and you get to be 95% proficient in it. I feel like that's a chance that anyone should take. All these productivity hacks or tips are things that I've loved doing. And so if you guys have other productivity tips, let me know. DM me and let me know what productivity tips that you guys love. And if you're going to try the 100-hour rule, let me know what you're going to try it for. I'd love to hear it. I have yet to pick something. I feel like maybe I'll do guitar. I know I keep talking about how I really want to play the guitar. I just feel like being able to whip out the guitar and play something is another silent flex of life. Just oh yeah, I dabble in guitar. What? I just think it's so cool whenever people just pick it up and start going, and I want to be a part of the club. So maybe I'll do guitar. I'll let you guys know. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, a quote that I want to leave with you guys is, the secret of your future is hidden in your daily routine. I feel like your daily routine, your morning and night routine, set you up for success, specifically your night routine. It is so important to set yourself up for success the next day. And so when you have a solid night routine and a solid morning routine, the rest of your day will most likely go better than you thought it would. And so I highly recommend just planning things out, being consistent with things, making sure that you have habits that are setting you up for success. I hope that this episode inspired you. An action for today's podcast episode would be to literally just journal it out. Journal out what you think could be the best thing for you when it comes to the 100-hour rule, and start doing something for 18 minutes. I feel like if you don't even want to do 100 hours, you could literally just stick to doing something 18 minutes a day for 3 months and see where you get. And that could just be your thing. Maybe you just want to do a summer thing. 18 minutes a day for the entire summer, work on playing guitar, and see where you are at the end of the summer. You're definitely going to be 10 times better than you were day one. So just go for it. Just try something new. You never know what's going to happen. But yeah, thank you guys so much for listening to today's podcast episode. I hope you guys loved it. I loved it. And I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day. Bye, guys.